Welcome back today. We're counting down the top 10 bad condition most valuable wheat pennies that could be hiding in your collection. These iconic coins from the early 20th century have skyrocketed in value over the years, and some of them are worth far more than you'd expect. Stick around to find out which wheat pennies could make you a fortune. First up, the 1939 Abraham Wheat 1-cent coin featuring the D mint mark and found in a damaged condition. At first glance, this may not seem like the most pristine piece, but its historical background, along with its condition, can still spark interest among collectors. The Lincoln Wheat penny was first introduced in 1909, making it a significant part of U.S. coinage history. The design, which showcases President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, was the work of famed sculptor Victor David Brenner. The 1939 Wheat penny is a part of this series, and it was produced during the tail end of the Great Depression, a time of economic hardship in the United States. By 1939, the country was emerging from the depths of the Great Depression, and the economy was beginning to show signs of recovery. The coin was minted in large quantities to meet the needs of daily transactions, and with its high mintage numbers, many of these pennies circulated widely, leading to high numbers of worn-out and damaged coins. The obverse of the 1939 Wheat penny features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has become iconic in U.S. numismatic history. Brenner's work has been celebrated for its detailed portrayal of the 16th president. The reverse side is adorned with 2 stalks of wheat, representing the nation's agricultural backbone. The coin's overall aesthetic remained unchanged from its introduction in 1909 until 1950, making the 1939 Lincoln Wheat penny part of a long tradition in U.S. coinage. The coin in question, with the D mint mark, was struck at the Denver Mint. This mint mark signifies that the coin was minted in Denver, Colorado, rather than in Philadelphia or San Francisco. Though many Lincoln Wheat pennies were minted in the millions, certain mint marks, including the D mint mark, have garnered more attention due to their rarity in certain years. The total mintage of the 1939 Lincoln Wheat penny was approximately 684 million, which is a significant number compared to other years in the wheat series. Despite this high mintage, the 1939 with the D mint mark is still of interest to collectors because of its role in the coinage of the late 1930s, when coins were still in heavy circulation. However, due to the damage this specific coin has sustained, its value is impacted, making it more challenging to estimate its worth accurately without specific auction data. In a damaged condition, the 1939 wheat penny is valued differently than its pristine counterparts. While a 1939 wheat penny in good to excellent condition might fetch thousands of dollars, this one with noticeable scratches and damage will likely fall in a much lower range. In today's auction market, this coin may be valued between $93,400, depending on the extent of the damage. While not a high-ticket item, damaged coins often intrigue collectors interested in historical coins with a story. For collectors seeking pieces with mint errors or damage, this coin still carries some appeal. Errors like off-center strikes or worn die markings are common in coins of this era, and collectors may appreciate owning a piece with visible damage as part of a complete historical collection. Next up, let's talk about the 1944 Abraham Wheat 1 penny large date without a mint mark, found in full dirty condition. This particular coin brings us to a pivotal time during World War I and highlights the importance of coinage in wartime America. The year 1944 was a turning point in World War I, with the Allies making significant strides toward victory. The United States was firmly involved in the war effort, and this period saw drastic changes in the economy, especially in how precious metals were utilized. During this time, pennies were still made of copper, but the war effort would soon lead to the introduction of the steel penny in 1943, which replaced copper to conserve metal for the war. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny features the large date variety, which refers to the size of the numbers on the coin's obverse. This coin was produced when copper was still plentiful, and it became symbolic of the resilience of the American economy, even as the country was still entrenched in the war. This particular coin being without a mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia, where most of the 1944 pennies were produced. The design of the 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny remained consistent with the rest of the series. On the obverse, you'll find a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse depicts 2 stalks of wheat. The large date variety, which became a feature in the 1944 coins, was simply a result of the mint's decision to adjust the size of the numerals for easier readability. The significant aspect of this coin lies in its dirty condition. A coin that has experienced extensive wear and dirt accumulation often loses much of its lustrous appeal. But it's important to understand that certain collectors seek coins in various conditions for their historical authenticity. In a heavily worn state, a coin like this one can still tell the story of the time it spent circulating in the pockets of Americans during the war. In 1944, the total mintage for the Lincoln Wheat penny exceeded 1 billion coins, with the vast majority coming from the Philadelphia Mint, which is why the lack of a mint mark is common. Given the high mintage, it would typically be a more common coin, but the 1944 penny still holds a significant place in history. A clean, uncirculated 1944 penny could be worth more than $1, but in dirty condition, it would fetch a lower price, perhaps in the range of $57,000 at auction. For collectors of historical coins, particularly those with wartime significance, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny is a valuable piece, even when in dirty condition. While the mintage is high and the coin may not hold much value in poor condition, it still remains an integral part of the Lincoln Wheat penny series. In this full dirty state, the 1944 penny has limited appeal to some collectors. However, for those interested in YE-era coinage, this piece might be valued more for its historical context than its condition. Auction prices for these dirty coins could range between $58,000, depending on the level of interest from collectors looking for specific wartime pieces. Next up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny, particularly the one without a mint mark and featuring a unique damage dot above the date, holds a special place in the world of numismatics. To understand why this coin is so valuable today, let's first look at the historical context and features that make it stand out. The Lincoln Wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It features a portrait of the 16th U.S. President on the obverse and 2 ears of wheat on the reverse, symbolizing America's agricultural prosperity. The 1945 coin was minted at the tail end of World War IE, a period when the United States was transitioning from a wartime economy to peacetime production. This particular year saw the end of wartime rationing and a return to normalcy, which influenced the coin's overall design and production. The absence of a mint mark on the 1945 penny suggests that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the primary mint for the U.S. coins at the time. However, the most remarkable feature of this coin is the mysterious dot above the date. This is believed to be a result of either a minting error or damage that occurred post-production. While it's not a standard minting feature, it is often cited as an error that has attracted collectors due to its rarity and unique look. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny's design is iconic. The obverse features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse showcases 2 stalks of wheat, which are a symbol of the nation's agricultural roots. This design was used from 1909 until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. The 1945 penny features a copper alloy composition, and the coin's fine condition ensures that it retains much of its original detail, making it appealing to collectors. The damage dot above the date on this coin is a result of a rare imperfection in the striking process. Though errors like this are often dismissed, it is considered highly valuable by collectors because of its rarity and the intrigue it generates. The dot could have occurred from something as simple as debris on the die or a minor imperfection during the minting process. Coins with post-mint damage like this are a controversial subject in the collecting world, but their value is often driven up by the level of rarity and the stories they tell. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted in large numbers, with the Philadelphia Mint producing over 1 billion pennies that year. Despite this, the 1945 without a mint mark and with a damage dot is extremely rare. The market value of this coin in fine condition can vary depending on the severity of the damage and the level of interest from collectors. A coin in fine condition typically has visible details, though it may show signs of wear, such as light scratches and discoloration. However, the rarity of the error and the damaged dot has led this coin to fetch prices upwards of $83,000 in today's auction market. Coins with additional unique features like the damaged dot can see their value soar to even higher amounts, especially when they are authenticated and graded by reputable organizations such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation or the professional coin grading service collectors who seek out. Rare error coins are often willing to pay a premium for these pieces, as they represent a unique piece of history and a fascinating story of coin production. The interest in the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark and featuring the damaged dot is fueled by the uniqueness of the error and its historical significance. Error coins in general have garnered a dedicated following, and the story behind each error adds to the intrigue. Many collectors focus on assembling full sets of Lincoln wheat pennies, but coins like the 1945 with this rare feature make it a valuable addition to their collection. The rarity and distinctiveness of this particular penny mean that it is often seen as a valuable treasure by numismatists and enthusiasts alike. Next up, we have another rare and valuable coin, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark, characterized by its red color, full damage, and dirty condition. While many may consider a dirty and damaged coin to be less valuable, this one defies expectations, with its market value being driven by its scarcity and the unique characteristics it possesses. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a time when the United States was transitioning from a wartime economy to a peacetime one. With the conclusion of World War I, Americans began to focus on rebuilding and reinvigorating their economy. The minting of coins continued at a large scale, but a few anomalies, such as the D mint mark and coins with damage, have persisted as a curiosity for collectors. The D mint mark signifies that this coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the largest and most significant minting facilities in the United States. The year 1945 saw the end of wartime coinage restrictions and the coinage returned to regular production. This was also the final year for the iconic wheat reverse design before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark retains its classic design, with the obverse featuring a portrait of Abraham Lincoln and the reverse showcasing 2 stalks of wheat. However, this particular coin has seen significant wear and damage. The coin's red color indicates that it has been well preserved, but the full damage and dirty condition add a layer of complexity to its value. While the coin may appear unappealing to some, many collectors are drawn to it because of its unique condition, and the D mint mark only increases its desirability. The damage on this coin is significant, and it likely occurred after the coin was minted, potentially due to exposure to harsh elements or mishandling. Despite the damage, the coin's historical significance and its role in the larger context of post-war coinage make it an intriguing specimen. The 1945 D Lincoln wheat penny was produced in large numbers, but coins in this condition, especially those with significant damage, are much less common. The market value of this coin in dirty and damaged condition can vary, but coins with these characteristics typically sell in the range of $200,000s in auctions, depending on the severity of the damage. Coins that have undergone cleaning or show significant signs of wear can sometimes fetch lower prices, but there is always a niche market for coins with unique features like this. In higher grade condition, this coin could fetch much more, but in its current state, collectors are often looking for rare and unique finds rather than perfection. The price is also influenced by the coin's historical context, rarity, and collector demand for damaged yet rare pieces. Collectors who focus on error and damaged coins often find themselves attracted to pieces like the 1945 D Lincoln wheat penny. While the general collecting community tends to prioritize coins in pristine condition, there is a special group of collectors who value coins with unique histories and imperfections. The damage on this coin, paired with its red color and the D mint mark, gives it a distinctive character that is highly appreciated by certain collectors. Next up, The 1940 Lincoln wheat cent is an important coin in the history of U.S. currency. The Lincoln wheat cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. For over 50 years, the Lincoln cent series was produced with the distinctive wheat ears on the reverse. By 1940, the series had already undergone significant changes, but it was still fundamentally tied to the legacy of Lincoln and the wheat motif. The year 1940 was pivotal during the Great Depression and just before the United States entered World War II. The country was still recovering from the economic hardships of the previous decade. As a result, coins produced during this period were primarily used for everyday transactions, and many of them did not receive the care that modern coins do. The 1940 Lincoln wheat cent features the classic design by Victor David Brenner, who created the obverse featuring Abraham Lincoln's profile. The reverse shows 2 stalks of wheat, which is where the coin gets its wheat cent nickname. In this particular coin, the blackened, dirty condition adds a layer of intrigue. This blackened layer often results from exposure to environmental elements over time, which can affect the value in a different way. While dirt can diminish the appeal for some collectors, others see it as a testament to the coin's history, especially when it's seen as a survivor from the era of economic strife. Despite being in a less-than-ideal condition with dirt and a blackened surface, the 1940 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark holds a surprising amount of value in the current market. The condition of a coin plays a massive role in its value, but so does rarity. The more worn or damaged a coin is, the more collectors will pay for it if it carries historical significance or if it's considered rare. Coins like these might fetch anywhere between $3,000 at auction, depending on the level of damage and collector demand. When a coin is left in poor condition or heavily corroded, some collectors seek these survivor pieces to add a rare variant to their collection, sometimes even at a higher price because of the mystery surrounding their past. However, such pieces require careful handling to preserve as much of the original features as possible. While the 1940 Lincoln wheat cent is not known for major minting errors, its dirt and blackened surface might contribute to a unique coin in the eyes of collectors. Coin enthusiasts often seek pieces with a personal story or distinctive characteristics, including those that have been damaged by the environment. Even when damaged, coins like the 1940 Lincoln can be coveted for their rarity and appearance. This coin, particularly in a worn state, might appeal to collectors interested in the historical look of a coin rather than pristine, mint-condition pieces. It's a reminder that coins don't need to be flawless to hold value. Sometimes the imperfections tell a deeper story. Next up, the 1941 Lincoln wheat cent is another iconic piece from the era of World War II. As the United States prepared for entry into the war, coins like the 1941 cent were being used in daily circulation. At this time, the U.S. Mint produced various coins for wartime needs, and the Lincoln cent continued to play an essential role in American life. The S Mint mark signifies that this coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which has a unique history of producing coins for the West Coast and the U.S. coast and the U.S. territories. In 1941, there was a resurgence in the focus on the economy as the U.S. geared up for the war effort. The production of the Lincoln wheat cent continued despite the challenges of war. However, these pennies were often used heavily in commerce and frequently found themselves in poor condition due to heavy circulation. Much like its predecessors, the 1941 Lincoln wheat cent features the likeness of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor Brenner. The reverse, which features 2 stalks of wheat, is emblematic of the agricultural prosperity that the U.S. wanted to symbolize. The San Francisco Mint produced high-quality coins, and the 1941 cent with an S Mint mark is one of the more coveted versions. The fine condition of this coin indicates it has seen use, but retains much of its original details, including the wheat ears and Lincoln's image. While not a perfect coin, a fine condition 1941, wheat penny still holds significant value, especially among collectors who focus on the quality of the design and the preservation of the original minting. A 1941 Lincoln wheat cent in fine condition, especially with the S Mint mark, has proven to hold considerable value in the collector's market. While common coins in lower grades might only fetch a few dollars, the fine condition of a coin significantly increases its worth. In the case of the 1941 S. Lincoln wheat cent, prices can range from $100,000s depending on the specific market and auction circumstances. As collectors seek coins with specific mint marks and in various conditions, the 1941 S. penny has maintained a strong place in the market due to its historical significance, rarity in fine condition, and its status as a classic part of U.S. coinage. For those who specialize in collecting Lincoln wheat pennies or mint mark varieties, the 1941 AS is a key piece. While the 1941 Lincoln wheat penny is not widely known for significant mint errors, it remains a highly sought after coin because of its rarity and the S mint mark. In recent years, there has been a growing trend of interest in the finer details of Lincoln wheat cents, with specific interest in mint mark varieties. Collectors often gravitate toward mint mark varieties like the 1941 S for their specific interest in the San Francisco Mint's production. Even small variations in the design or minor defects may lead to a premium in price, as certain minting issues or flaws can make a coin more valuable. This particular coin is also attractive to those who collect by date and mint mark combinations. Next up, the 1946 Abraham Lincoln wheat cent is a standout in the history of U.S. coinage, marking the post-YE era in the United States. The coin was produced at a time when the country was transitioning into an age of economic growth and recovery after the end of the war. The 1940s were a period of change, and this coin represents the resilience of the American people and their optimism for the future. The obverse of the coin famously features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This iconic image of Lincoln has been on the cent since 1909, when it first appeared on the coin to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. However, the 1946 version of the wheat cent was part of a larger circulation following the end of wartime shortages, and it continued to carry the legacy of Lincoln's portrait on its obverse, along with the wheat stalks on the reverse. While the 1946 Lincoln wheat cent is not as rare as some other pennies, the version with the S mint mark is unique. The S mint mark coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint, which is notable for producing both regular and proof coins. The mintage of the 1946 S. Lincoln wheat cent was somewhat lower compared to other years, and the condition of the coin plays a significant role in its value today. The S mint mark on the reverse is located beneath the date, identifying the coin as being struck at the San Francisco Mint. This mint mark is an important factor when determining the rarity and value of the coin, as San Francisco was one of the primary mints responsible for producing coinage during the 1940s. And its coins tend to hold additional collector appeal due to their limited mintage in comparison to other mints. The mintage of the 1946 S. Lincoln wheat cent was about 278 million coins. While this may sound like a large number, it's important to note that not all of these coins have survived in good condition, especially since they were produced for circulation and were used extensively. Coins that remain in circulated condition, especially those in lower grades, are more common. However, those in higher grades, such as fine or very fine, are increasingly rare, especially in a market where collectors are always on the hunt for high-quality specimens. In today's auction market, the value of a 1946 Lincoln wheat cent with an S mint mark can vary significantly based on its condition. In circulated condition, the coin might be worth anywhere between $15,000s, however. Coins that have been well preserved and show minimal wear can reach higher values, especially if they grade in higher categories like extra fine or O, about uncirculated. In these conditions, the coin can fetch $56,000. But the real value of this coin lies in its potential to fetch in higher amounts if it is graded as being in mint state, Ms. An M63 or higher example could be worth $72,000 if you're lucky enough to have a coin in gem. Quality Ms. 65 or higher, it could easily sell for upwards of $75,000 or more. Auctions for coins like this, especially in top-tier condition, tend to see strong demand among collectors who seek to complete their Lincoln wheat cent collections. The 1946 SS Lincoln Wheat Cent is also a coin that holds significant appeal for error collectors. While no major errors are associated with this coin, minor varieties, such as the D over S mint mark or slight die varieties, can make the coin even more valuable. As with most coins, collectors are on the lookout for these anomalies, which can increase the coin's value, sometimes dramatically, depending on the rarity and desirability of the error. Collectors of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series are often highly dedicated, and many of them are constantly seeking coins in the best possible condition. For this reason, the 1946 SAS Lincoln Wheat Cent with a higher grade can be a key addition to any collection, not just for its rarity, but for the story it tells about the nation's history in the post-war era. Next up, the 1949 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Cent was struck during a year of economic transition for the United States. Post-war, the country was adjusting to a peacetime economy, and many of the restrictions that had been placed on coin production during the war were lifted. The 1949 penny marks a period when the nation was returning to normalcy, though there were still some economic difficulties ahead. The lack of a mint mark on this particular coin indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the primary mint for many of the nation's coins during this period. Unlike the 1946 SS penny, which had a specific mint mark denoting its origin from San Francisco, the 1949 without a mint mark was part of a larger mintage struck in Philadelphia, which usually produced the bulk of the nation's coinage during this era. The absence of a mint mark on this coin makes it particularly desirable to collectors who focus on mint mark varieties or seek to complete their sets of pennies from various mints. The lack of a mint mark can also increase the coin's value slightly, as collectors often place a premium on coins from the Philadelphia Mint, especially in higher grades. The total mintage of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Cent without a mint mark was around 400 million coins. This is a large number, but like the 1946 coin, the vast majority of these coins were circulated and show signs of wear. Coins that have been preserved in better condition, especially those in the higher end of the grading scale, are considered rarer and more valuable. In circulated condition, a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Cent can be valued at around $10,000s, however. The value increases significantly when the coin is in better condition. For a coin in very fine or extra fine condition, collectors may pay between $45,000s. In uncirculated grades, the coin can easily fetch $269,000s or more, with specimens that grade in mint state 65 or higher, potentially commanding values of $300,000s. Auction prices for high-grade examples of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Cent continue to rise, as collectors continue to seek out these valuable coins for their collections. Next up, let's talk about the highly sought, after 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This coin stands out for its historical significance and design features, but it's particularly famous due to the potential for rare error versions. The 1955 large date variety holds a special place in the hearts of collectors because of its unique characteristics. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it quickly became a beloved piece in American currency. The 1955 penny marks a significant year in the series, as it came just after World War I.e., a time of rebuilding and economic change for the United States. The U.S. Mint produced a high number of pennies during this era, but what makes the 1955 coin stand out is the large date variety, which is often linked to an error in the minting process. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the 1955 Lincoln penny features a profile of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, with the words Liberty and the year 1955 inscribed around him. The reverse shows two stalks of wheat, a symbol of abundance and prosperity, along with the words E pluribus unum and 1 cent. In 1955, the U.S. Mint produced over 1 billion pennies in total. However, the 1955 large date variety is particularly rare, especially when it comes in fine condition. The U.S. Mint did not mark a mint mark on pennies from the Philadelphia Mint, and that lack of a mint mark adds to the intrigue for this coin. In today's market, the 1955 Lincoln penny without a mint mark in fine condition can fetch impressive amounts, with prices ranging from $7,000s depending on the specific condition and whether the coin is graded higher. However, coins with the famous double die error, a misalignment during minting that creates a double image of the date, have sold for much more, sometimes reaching up to $10,000 at auctions. This error version is one of the most prized by collectors, contributing to a growing interest in the 1955 Lincoln penny. As previously mentioned, the 1955 large date penny became famous because of the double die error, which made the date appear doubled. The double die variety is easily recognizable by the distinctive double appearance of the number 5 in the date. This error has driven up the coin's value substantially, making it one of the most valuable wheat pennies in history. Thanks for joining us. Happy collecting.